Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here, and we're taking a look at episode 6 of this season's Criminal Minds Evolution. And it's a rather lackluster episode. Good beginning, good ending. The through line is kind of It's a problem a lot of series have, especially at the midway point when there's an overarching plot they're having to deal with. And as this is not an episodic show like the original Criminal Minds was, you get some episodes where not a lot really happens. It's just kind of treading water or spinning your wheels, which one character actually says at one point that this is going to be a spinning our wheels kind of day. We have a great opening where Voight has escaped his cell, and Rossi and Tara are, all suited up, and they're going through the corridors with their guns drawn, and they get separated. And I was thinking, okay, any minute now we're going to jump back to like the beginning to see how it led up to this. But that didn't happen. And as Rossi goes down a corridor, Voight pops out. He's got a gun pointed at Emily, and he kills Emily. And then he turns the gun on Rossi and pulls the trigger. And then Rossi wakes up. It was a nightmare. He is seeing more and more visions of Voight, and it's really starting to interfere with his ability to lead the team. Emily, meanwhile, is passed out drunk on Garcia's couch. When JJ finds this out, she goes to see her. We'll get back to them later. Tyler comes in with the Teresa that was mentioned last episode. It's his ex-girlfriend from before he and Garcia started seeing each other. And, that's while Luke is talking to her, and Tyler is opening up to Garcia about who Teresa is. Tara goes to see Rossi. It is obvious at this point he is suffering from PTSD, and he finally, needing someone to opens up to her. As a trained psychologist, which is what most people in the BAU are, and she comes to one conclusion. Rossi's always had this habit of visualizing the unsub and talking to it while he's working through the case. The only time it's ever stayed around while he had finished the case was a couple of times, and he got rid of them by confronting those unsubs in their jail cell. Sort of his way of his mind being reset that, okay, this has been accomplished, we can move on. Now, Tara gives him two options. One, he can start doing daily therapy, 90 minutes a day. It'll take a while. Or he could confront Voight, see him in the cell, which he hasn't done yet. And Rossi's like, I don't think that'll work. I mean, Voight is going to be getting out because of his deal. And he won't admit he's Sicarius. Well, those are his options. Also, Voight's lawyer is trying to get Voight's sentence to start now, and he doesn't have to meet with the BAU or anything because he's upheld his part of the bargain. It's not his fault that the Gold Star killers were not caught. Okay, now Teresa gives her phone to Garcia, who goes back through it and finds that it has been hacked. And she had been receiving photos everywhere she went. of everywhere she went. And Garcia recognizes this code. It's a standard one that government and military use, which points to Tyler, because that's the same thing he used last season when he cloned, or when he hacked Garcia's phone. But she knows it's not him. The timing doesn't work. So Tyler has to think who would be upset with him enough to try and frame him. Who else? The arms dealer, Sebastian. So he gets brought in. And they learn nothing. But Luke and Teresa, they sort of connect. As for Emily, she's not only hungover, she's high as a kite. She had been having some legal, I don't remember the technical term, but edibles. And unfortunately for JJ, she did not realize that some of those edibles were cheese puffs and ate a bunch of them. So now they're both unable to function at the office. Not that Emily cares that much anymore. She's decided she's going to quit so that she can go out on her terms and not be dismissed over this whole thing with Brian. Even after she gets an email from the director saying that the charges were obviously bogus, they've been wiped clean, and she's reinstated. And she's seriously thinking of still tendering her resignation. We'll get back to that. Rossi has a panic attack in an elevator. Once out of the elevator, he realizes, yeah, Tara's right. So he goes to see Voight, but he has a guard who's a buddy of his turn all the cameras off. Now, Voight wants to know why. And Rossi says, this is just for my edification. Not for like trying to trick you or anything. I just want you to admit you are Sicarius. That's all I need. I just need that bit of confirmation. I mean, you are a man who killed 60 people. And Voight immediately says 62. Oh, thanks for admitting it. I'll see you later. And then Voight goes, no. That's not the real reason you came here. And he's able to psychologically break down exactly what Ross is going through, but not why. He claims he's a totem for something else. So he proposes to Rossi that they do a profile of North Star together. Now, North Star, according to Voight, was merely a holding place. That it had no real name. It was just the center of the actual program that created Jade and Damien. And they go back and forth, here and there, until Rossi realizes exactly what it is to set this whole thing off. And he leaves Voight, and Voight is just thrilled. How did Voight know all this? I don't know. Maybe he guessed, but we'll have to wait another episode for that. Emily and JJ finally come to have a discussion, and yes, Emily will stay. Then they get a call from Rossi that he needs everybody back at BAU immediately. Oh, I am forgetting something. After Sebastian was let go, Tyler gets a message from him. He gets called. If he wants Teresa's life to be returned to her, he's got to meet Sebastian and give him the cloned phone. So Tyler meets with him, gives him the cloned phone. Well, that wasn't the only thing Sebastian needed, because when the phone got cloned, now all of his clients are suspicious of him and he could be killed. So not only does he need to get the cloned phone back, he needs to kill Tyler and give them proof. Unfortunately for him, Tyler knew this was a setup and worked with the BAU, and they arrest Sebastian. Okay, everybody now is back at the BAU. And Rossi shows them copies of a paper he and Gideon, who was his former partner, and you remember he was back in the early episodes, early seasons, and they had worked up a system to identify potential serial killers. You know, home life, upbringing, all these things, and they never published it and just filed it away to never be seen, because they realized that someone unscrupulous, maybe even in the government, we're not saying that, but maybe, could use it to actually create serial killers that they could then use. And Rossi had all but forgotten this until Voight kind of helped dig it out. And he realizes he is North Star, and he is the one that Jade and Damien will eventually be coming for. Like I said, good opening, good beginning. Middle section's kind of blah. It's just a lot of talking. And not the fun kind, like in an interrogation room you get, like, when they're questioning someone and they're breaking them down. And no, this is very much going through everyone's emotional and mental problems. And it just kind of drags. The arrest of Sebastian was pretty good, but that was really the only bit of action in it. And the opening, which you realize it's a nightmare, and you're just like, that sucks. So hopefully things will start picking up soon as we head towards the finale. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.